Hey everybody, this is DM Mike, and this is the next tabletop simulator map for Chapter 6. Yes, we're still in Chapter 6 of Hoard of the Dragon Queen. This takes place in the swamp, the Mere of Dead Men. And this is a map that was completely cut out of the adventure. It was crafted and made, but the adventurers, my characters, heroes, took a different path, so it ultimately wasn't used. So that's why I want to go ahead and just kind of take a quick peek at it. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and load it up. And here we are, guys. This is the map that wasn't used. This is an encounter that kind of got edited out of the adventure. And this was the safe route. This was a route they were going to take to the castle that only had one encounter. They chose a different route to go. It was a more dangerous route. It shaved off an entire day of travel, but it was more dangerous, right? So it had 3 encounters compared to only 1. But this was the one that they chose to bypass. And this was where the Shambling Mound would have attacked the characters had they chosen this route. This is something that is in the book. It's a random encounter that you can find, and I thought, hey, that's a cool idea. I like the idea of the Shambling Mound, so let's do that. So I made the map for it. This is kind of like its home territory, its home turf, and I tried to give it a lot of greenery, as if, again, aesthetics, right? So you want to change the swamp up, make it look a little bit different, so they're not looking at the same things over and over and over again. I think that's pretty evident if you go back and look at all my maps that I've done for this chapter, which is by far the most maps I've made for any of the chapters in Hoard of the Dragon Queen was the swamp. So keep that in mind. It may be, if you're running this through Tabletop Simulator or just in general, you might find yourself with a lot of maps and a lot of different encounters in Chapter 6. But this was, again, its home territory. This is where the encounter was going to take place. And I tried to give it just a slightly different look. A lot of the maps were dark and rainy, thunder, or they had a lot of mist and fog. This one here you can see has a lot of greenery because this is where it lived. As you can see here, I took some of these models. Let me move over here. Took some of these models here of these leaves, ivory, and kind of flipped them vertical, shoved them into the bushes. Now they're kind of standing, vertical, and it makes it look a little more dense on the sides. And this is where the giant tentacles of the Shambling Mound would come out. Now let's go over here. What I've started to do is put these little tiny boards out, and on these boards I set, just all my tokens or props or things I might use in the map, similar to what you would do in real life as a DM. You would set your minis to one side and other stuff on this side, and when you needed them, you'd pull them out, right? And so this is what I've done here. And over here, of course, is the heroes and their spiritual weapons. And over here was the enemy itself. So in here are the tentacles. You can search here, look in your bag. But here's the Shambling Mound, of course, and all the tentacles. On my channel, I do have a small video that does a time lapse of me drawing these tentacles. So you can kind of see it in real time. But they're going to be sized up. Actually, they're going to be giant tentacles coming towards the characters. And then the actual ambush would have, a surprise round really, would have started with these. I took 2 large tree trunks, and what was going to happen was the boats would be about halfway through. We can, that one wrecked. But they would be halfway through, and then suddenly a shadow would have been cast over the boats. They would look up, and a large petrified tree trunk would have been coming crashing down on them from above, and that would have started the encounter. And as soon as that would have happened, the vines, the tentacles of the Shambling Mound would be coming up through the water, but also around the sides. So it really would have been kind of a nasty encounter. And once they fought off the tentacles, the Shambling Mound itself would have appeared, most likely from the bushes or maybe from the water itself. That was the idea of what was going to happen. And so, as you can see here, I put little details in. We got a little statue over here, and if you look closely, this is a dead skeleton. I don't know. I just kind of thought it was a nice little thing, something that someone on the boat might look to their left and see a statue. You might want to do a history check or arcana, a religious check of some kind. They would see the skeleton there of a soldier who perhaps came to the swamp 100 years ago and searched for something and died at the feet of the statue. Little things like that, little details for characters to look around and, keeps them busy in the boat. But this is it. I just wanted to get this on video because it's just an encounter that wasn't used. I've talked about editing. This is what we do. As DMs, we draw things, we set things up, and sometimes you just don't use them. And they just kind of go in the back pocket, or they're never used. Perhaps maybe one day I'll use this, but right now, it's just going to have to go in the back pocket. But, okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to do is just share this quick video. This map, actually. Let me get rid of these tentacle tokens here. This is a good way to set up your table. I know there's 100 ways to set up your table, but so far, to clear up some space, I like these extra boards out here. They do. They just clear up a little bit of space. Sometimes I'll lose my bags here along the edges because they'll blend in with the scenery, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's just easy to lose track of things. And so I just kind of started to do this. Anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for keeping up with all my shenanigans in Hoard of the Dragon Queen, all this map creation. I hope it's inspiring you or giving maybe some ideas. If you have a Shambling Mound, hey, maybe this will work for you. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.